What's up everybody, Kevin here, and we are back with another episode of C# tutorial. In this episode we are going to create an array and I will explain everything to you. Now let's start the video. Before everything, I just want to show you the basic form of how to declare and initialize an array. Let's start it, and after that I will explain that to you. Now, this is the basic form of how to create an array, how to declare and initialize an array. For declaring an array, we just need to remove this part. Data type, two brackets, and our array's name with one semicolon. We declare that array. But if we add one equal, new keyword, and this data type that we write here, and two brackets, we declared and initialized our array. Okay, now let's get into it. The first thing you have to write for creating your array, you have to write the data type that you want. For example, int, double, float, whatever you want. This shows you that what you can store in your array. For example, if we choose the data type as an int, we can store int in our array. Or if we choose our data type as a double, we can store double number in array. These two brackets is a must, and you have to write these two brackets, and this shows the computer that you want to create an array. And after that, you have to write your array's name. This is so simple. For this part, if you write just this part, it means you just declared your array, but you still not initialize that. For initializing that, you have to write an equal, simple, and a new keyword. This is also a must, and you also have to write this new keyword. And again, your data type which you wrote here, and again two brackets and the semicolon. But we still missing something. I have to assign the length of my array, which we have to write that here. Length. It can be 1, it can be 2, 3, 4, 5, 100, 1,000, no matter what. But you have to assign the length of your array. This is the basic form of declare and initializing an array. But now, what is the array itself? Now let me explain that to you. Imagine like you have a square with the length of that you have assigned. For example, I choose my array's length as 4, and I have 4 different space to store my data. We have space 1, space 2, space 3, and space 4. But the number of the index of our array is starting from 0. Index 0, index 1, index 2, and index 3. Four different spaces. I mean, if I assign my array as an integer, as an int, which is obviously I can store only int in my array. I choose the length of my array as 4. For example, I just giving you an example. I choose the length as 4, and I have 4 different spaces. In index 0, I have my first element. In index 1, I have my second element. In index 2, I have my third element. And in index 3, I have my fourth element, which all of them are int. For example, I have 4 different numbers, and I store them in my array. For example, number 3 is in my first index, index 0, and I have 4 in my second index, I mean index 1, and I have 10 in my third element, in my third index, which is index 2, and in index 3, which is my fourth element, for example, I have 20. Or if I assign my array as a double, I had to store some double number in my array. And this is everything about array. I explained that to you. I hope my explanation was helpful to you and hope you understand everything. And another thing more important than initializing our array, assigning some value to our array. I will write an example declaring, initializing, and assigning some value in an array and then printing them. I'll write that here, and then I will explain that to you. Let's start. Okay, now we did declare, initialize, assigning some values, and writing those values in this program. In line 15, we did declared and initialized our array. We did create our array. And then after that, the first for loop. In the first loop, we assigned some values to our array. In our program, we have element 0. It is better to say index 0. Let me change that real quick. Index 0. Index 0, which we have our first value, is 0. Index 1, which we have our second value, is 1. Index 2, 3, and 4. In the second loop, we did write something to print our value in our array. Just a quick note, for reaching a specific index of array, you just need to write your array's name with two brackets and the index that you want to reach. For example, 4, index 4. For example, index 3. This is exactly what we did here and here. We did reach index I, which for the first element was index 0. That was just a quick note. Index 0, which j in our loop for the first time was 0. Index 0 is equals to test array index j. I will explain this type of printing later, but now what I wrote here is this thing. Index 0 equals 0. Index 1 equals 1, index 2 equals 2, index 3 equals 3, and index 4 equals 4. And that's all of it for this episode, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you find this video helpful. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe for more. Hope you have an awesome day and peace out.